Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason and I am your watch guy today. The Aliexpress summer sale is quickly approaching. It will start on the 12th of June and you know that I'll have a video ready for you guys to see. But first of all, I'd like to show you a few watches that are going to be available in the sale. Today I am going to show you the Berny titanium quartz field piece, which I think is a real bargain on the market at the moment, and I think it adds something a little bit different that other watches don't. A titanium case is definitely a bonus for a lot of us, and it comes in an absolutely fantastic price of under £60. I think that this could be a winner in this year's sale. If you'd like to pick this one up, I have linked the Berny official store in the description. They're the ones who've sent me this watch. Yes, it is free. However, this entire review is my own thoughts and opinions, as it always is. With that out of the way, let me turn the camera around and show you Berny's homage to the classic Seiko SNK line. I am convinced that a lot of people are going to be massive fans of this piece. And you know what? Same. This is a fantastic little release from Berny, and they have made a couple of changes to their branding, which I think will really bring this one home for a lot of people, especially considering that the SNK line has been discontinued by Seiko. That was one of my favourite watches. It was my go-to as a recommendation for what type of watch you should suggest to someone who's starting out in the automatic watch world. I always thought an SNK was cheap, cheerful, and it could take a beating. And I thought that was perfect for a beginner. Unfortunately, Seiko going the way that they are, they have made some changes to their lineup, and that one has been discontinued. And I don't know if I can still suggest the Seiko is the perfect starting point. But that is a story for another day. Today we are discussing this here, Berny, which is a homage to the SNK line. Now, it is a fantastic little field watch built in titanium. It's packed with the Seiko VH31 movement, which is why you can see that little almost sweeping tick to the second hand on this one. We have a fully sandblast effect to the titanium casing, titanium throughout. There is no alternative. We have a standard crown on this one. I haven't been able to get the blue sticker off. A little piece of tape should take care of that, to be fair. Let's talk about the dimensions of this piece. It is a very wearable, very friendly to smaller wrists type of watch. In diameter, it's 37.2 millimeters, which makes it very wearable for most wrist sizes, unless you are King Kong or something like that. This one will be pretty universal across the board, I think. It is 9.1 millimeters thick, which makes it very thin and wearable on wrist. Very suitable for an everyday, go anywhere, do anything watch, I think. Lug to lug is 42.5 millimeters, and these lugs are of course 20 millimeter lugs, which means you can fit it with an array of different straps. Speaking of different straps, this does also come on a fabric strap. That is an option on the store. Obviously, there's a price difference between the titanium strap and a fabric strap. I'd always say go for the titanium, go for the metal bracelet option, because you can always add a fabric strap later on if you're choosing, can't you? Much cheaper price. The casing is exactly what you expect from an SNK homage. The crown hidden away down here at the 4 o'clock, which means that it lines up very nicely with the side of the case, and that will make the crown much more secure to the casing. Less risk of any damage or knocks to it, and that's the idea of this 4 o'clock position. Again, very suitable for a go anywhere, do anything watch. A very nice little gather watch. The crown is a simple pull push crown, as you can see there, hacking second hand on this one. Now, with that being the case, this is packed with only 50 meters of water resistance, but that is probably what you would expect from a field watch. We are not looking at these being dive pieces. The caseback is a simple pressed caseback, which does have a little spec sheet around the inner circle, and of course the Berny text in the centre. We have the model number there, the T2566M, and usual information also following all of that. Sapphire crystal with a nice level of anti-reflective coating, as I mentioned, 50 meters of water resistance. Don't be getting this one too wet, guys. Moving into the dial, I always did like the SNK style dials, and that was because it really had a nice mixture of almost, well, between field and pilot style pieces. And I thought it was a really good expression from Seiko, especially with the minute numerals around the outer edge. Those Arabic numerals marking from 5 to 55 minutes. I thought it was a nice little touch myself. The triangle at 12 o'clock definitely screams Flieger to me. And Flieger Type B, exactly the same layout. All of that packed into a field style watch. I thought it was a really nice mixture. And it is a real shame that Seiko have discontinued these pieces. Quartz titanium printed to the dial, and up at the 12 o'clock you can see the Berny logo. No print for the name Berny, which a lot of people will be very, very pleased about. I think that will get a lot of people on side. Now obviously they haven't changed the branding, which we did suggest. However, taking away the name does help for a lot. Aligning nicely with the minute markings on the outer side. We have a diamond-like handset on this piece. It is loomed with BGW9 Lume. I will get that Lume shot in here shortly. Lollipop second hand, which is a really nice feature on this one because it is loomed also. Finished with a nice red tip at the end of that second hand. Really does give it a little splash of colour and distinguishes it very nicely. Right, let me cut to the Lume shot.
Berny has a lovely pale lume to it. As you can see, the lollipop counterbalance on the second hand is loomed, as are the rest of the markings around the dial. All of the minute markings, the indices, all the way to the triangle at the 12 o'clock. I think we can definitely give this Berny at least a 7 out of 10. All the markings that you'd like to see are loomed. It is very well done. It's spread well. There's no real patchiness. The handset is good. I mean, it's not incredibly imaginative, but yeah, it definitely does the job. And I think we can appreciate this one from Berny. Well done to them.
Okay, so as we move to the bracelet on this piece, you can see there is also a sandblasted effect, very matte effect to the bracelet. It is fully titanium, which is nice to see. And another nice little feature is that all of the links are push pins, so you can get a very small fit on this watch, or you can keep it at the full length, and you know, it still has that that versatility. We have a fold over safety on the clasp, double push either side, and this is a pressed clasp, which yes is a little bit of a letdown for myself. 3 levels of micro adjustment on this bracelet or on this clasp is basic in my opinion. The female end links will help with the wearability of the piece, the lug to lug range. I don't think it really does need it though. One thing that I will say is the bracelet isn't exactly fitted nice and tight in there. You can see a level of wobble which isn't exactly ideal. They are, however, solid end links, which nice to see. Where would my moans lie on a watch like this? £60 is not exactly a lot for a piece that is fully titanium and packs a nicer quartz movement, shall we say. The brand name is still going to be an issue with a lot of people. You don't want to tell anyone that you've got a Berny watch on, do you? Personally, I've said weirder things, but you know, you're down the pub with your mates, they ask you what you're wearing. Oh, that's a nice watch, that, Jace. Yeah, mate, it's Berny. You know, Berny. It's not exactly got the same tone as Seiko or Orient or, you know, something like that. It's, yeah, Berny, mate. Can't get away from that. Definitely does need a rebrand, I think, in my personal opinion. Another note is that the crown is absolutely tiny. I mean, I struggled really badly trying to get hold of this one. Yeah, if you don't have any nails, then you are going to be screwed trying to get this one out. That is pretty fitting to the Seiko SNK, but if you're going to make a homage, you want to improve it, don't you? That's why they've made it in a titanium case, and it would have been nice to see a easier to grip hold of crown, or more suitable crown, you know, something that we can actually use well. And finally, a pressed clasp. I know it's a titanium bracelet, which is nice, but pressed clasps they really do just scream cheap to me. And I say that with every brand, honestly. Seiko do it, and that's my opinion of them. These are obviously much cheaper than a Seiko piece, so you would give them a little bit of leeway on that. However, it's still a press clasp and isn't exactly screaming luxury at you, is it? Overall, I think it's a very good watch. And one thing that I did discuss with friend of the channel, Brian, is that it'd be the perfect watch for a little bit of a modification. So that may be something that you guys can tune into later on in the year. Definitely something that I would like to do. If you do have any suggestions, you know where the comments section is. I'd love to hear what you guys would do with this piece. Well, Berny is back on the scene, guys. It is a weird one, isn't it? I mean, that name doesn't exactly scream luxury. However, they are really nice pieces, and honestly, I've been pleasantly surprised every time that I've had a Berny in. They are usually really good quality for the price that they do charge. One other thing that I will mention is that while I was doing my research for the Aliexpress sale video that I release each sale, I actually noticed that Berny have been releasing a few models under the radar. Definitely a brand to have a look at if you're looking for something a little bit new, but not the usual Rolex homage type of vibe. Definitely a brand that are doing some nice little things lately. And this one will definitely be back on the channel for some sort of modification video. So tell me what you guys would do with it. I'm interested to hear. I've got my own ideas, obviously, but I would like to hear what you guys would do too. I think it'd be very interesting if we could come together on this a little bit. Thank you for watching this one, guys. If you'd like to pick this watch up, the link is in the description. And if you happen to want to purchase yourself a second-hand watch, well, I have a few available on my website. That is also linked in the description. I would love it if you could go and check that out. That is really a passion piece for myself as of late, and I'd like to share it with you if nothing else. Thank you for watching, guys. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave me a comment, and I will see you in the next one.